Ananda Bhuk. And you enjoy that Ananda in the deep sleep. Cheto Mukha. It is from the Sushupti, Jagrat comes and goes back, Swapna comes and goes back, and that is our state of Sushupti. In the night, when you sleep, you go into Sushupti. From there, you come to the dream world. After the dream, you go back to Sushupti. Another dream. Goes on. In the morning, from the Sushupti, you get up. So that is Chetomukha. That's called Prajña. Esha Sarveshwaraha. Esha Sarvajnaha. Esha Antaryami. Esha Yonihi. Sarvasya Prabhavapyayo. Prabhavapyayo hi bhutanam. It is Sarveshwara. It is the Lord of all. In Sushupti, you have several levels. Deep sleep, then various levels of Samadhi, and that all comes under the Anandamaya Kosha. And it is from where the whole world comes up and goes back. That's called the Karana Sharira. And that is the state from where all Sukshma, Sthula world is going to come. So that is the Karana. That is the causal state that has been put. This is Sarveshwara. All pervasive, all known. Then we have the fourth. Namta Pragnaham. Na Bahish Pragnam. No Bhayata Pragnam. Na Pragnana Ghanam. Na Pragnam. Na Pragnam. Adrishyam. Avyavaharyam. Alakshanam. Achintyam. Avyapadeshyam. Ekatma Pratyayasaram. Prapanchopashamam. Shantam. Shivam. Advaitam. Chaturtham Manyante. Sa Atma Savigneyaha. Now, the fourth is that which is beyond the three. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. That which is beyond is Turiya. And that is our pure consciousness. There is no Antaprajna. There is no dream consciousness. Na Bahish Prajnaha. There is no wakeful consciousness. Na Ubhayata Prajnaha. Sometimes you are neither sleeping nor you are awake. No, Ubhayata Prajna. You are not that. Na Prajnana Ghanam. You are not in the state of Sushupti. It is not dream consciousness. It is not sleep consciousness. Na Pragnam. It is not having the cognition. Na Apragnam. Does it mean that you are not having cognition? No. It is not having non-consciousness, non-cognition. Adrishyam, unseen. Avyavaharam, avyavaharyam. It cannot be used for transactions. No? Agrahyam. It cannot be grasped. Alakshanam. It has no qualifications. Achintyam. It is beyond all thinking. It goes beyond thinking, transcends thinking. Vyapadeshyam. It cannot be described. And what is that? Ekatma Pratyasaram. That is the one that exists, and that is the only thing that exists in the whole universe. And it is Prapanchopashamam. It is the silence. It is peace. Peace, the supreme, beyond space, time, causation. It is Shivam. It is called Shiva. Advaitam. It has no duality. It is called Chaturtham Manyante. It's called the fourth. Sa Atma Savigneyaha. So that is our self. That is the self of all of us. That is the Parama-Atma. And that has to be realized. Savigneyaha. So that's the 7th mantra. Then we go to the 8th mantra. Soyamatma Adhyaksharam Omkaraha Adhimatram Padamatra Matrascha Padaha Akara Ukaro Makara iti. Now, Soyam Atma, Adhyaksharam, Omkaram, this pure consciousness has not only Pada but the Matra, not only the states, but also they are designated by different letters, different syllable. So they are equivalent, that state and the letter. Just like we have got the energy, and E is the symbol for energy. M is for the mass. So like that we designate. Similarly here, the different states, Jagrata, Swapna, Sushupti, have been designated by different letters. A means wakeful, U means the dream, Ma means Sushupti. These are the 3 letters, Akara, Ukara, Makara, Iti. They are the 3 letters. They are designated letters. Then one by one, the Upanishad describes. Jagarita sthanaha Vaishwanaraha Akaraha Prathama Matra Apteradimatvat Apnoti Havai Sarvan Kaman Adishcha Bhavati Ya Evam Veda. Jagarita Sthana, that is the wakeful world. It is designated by Vaishwanara. That is designated by A. That is the first state, first letter. So Akara is the wakeful world. That's where we all live. Entire physical world, which are by the electromagnetic field. You have understood so much and almost everything about the physical world. And that is the Akara, that is the wakeful consciousness, and that is governed by Vaishwanara. Then, what is its speciality? It is all pervasive. And being the first, Adimatvat, Apnoti Hava, Sarvan Kaman, Adishta Bhavati. So, everything you attain in this wakeful world, all the desirable things, whatever you want to reside in this thing. You want money, name, fame, health, everything that you want, you can achieve here, which are physical. All that physical things you can achieve here by the special practice called Akara Upasana. Upanishads having told the hypothesis, you come to the experimentation. How to achieve this thing? So there is the experimentation called Nididhyasana. So the practice that we have to do is Akara. Akara Upasana. You must go on repeating loudly and in the mind all the time, continuous in the Akara, and become one with the Akara. Akara is the Vaishwanara, the 10th point. But then it says Ananta Samapatti. So you tune with that vast infinite blue sky, physical world, you become one with that. So when you do this Upasana, then all your desires will be fulfilled. And that is the wakeful thing. Having said that, come to the second. Swapnasthanastaijasaha ukaraha dvitiya matra utkarshat ubhayatvat utkarshati havai jnana santatim samanascha bhavati na asya abrahmavid kule bhavati ya evam veda. The second is Taijasa. First is Vaishvanara, the physical world. That is the whole cosmic entity which governs this physical world is Vaishvanara. That is the gross world, that's the Sula. Then we have the Taijasa, is the Sukshma. That is Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha. And that is designated by U. And what is the cosmic entity which governs all these three states of Sukshma Sharira? It is called Taijasa. And that is the second designated letter, Dvitiya Matra. So, that is the second. First one is Akara, Vaishvanara. And if you do the Upasana of the Akara, you get all your physical desires satisfied. Now, the second is the Sukshma world. It is designated by Ukara. And if you do the Upasana of the Ukara, the whole thing, and you become one with the Ukara. That is Chitta Akasha. That you become one with the Akasha and the mind level. So what is going to happen? Utkarshat, Ubhayatvat, Utkarshati Havai, Jnana Santatim. In that process, you are going to elevate yourself. You are going to rise from the physical towards a subtle thing. All subtle things start coming into your thing. In the physical world, you get the gross things. But here you get all the subtle things. That is the higher levels of achievement, extrasensory perceptions, and various siddhis, levitation, and flying in air, ashtasiddhis. You can make the body small, you make the body big, and all these things. So you go on increasing more and more. As you go to the deeper samadhis, as Prajña says, you get higher and higher powers. Start getting that. And along with the higher powers, you start getting higher and higher knowledge and higher bliss. This is the one that's going to happen. That your bliss is going to increase more and more, 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times. The Taittiriya Upanishad mentions how much you are going to get one by one. And 10 to the power of 16 times the ananda that you get. So bliss increases more and more. And knowledge increases more and more. You get the knowledge of the prana, the mind, emotions, intellect, all the things that you get. And all the knowledge you are going to get. That is Dhamma. So, what happens? In such a person, when he is doing this thing, his entire lineage are going to continuously grow in this direction. They all become spiritual, great personalities. And in his lineage, sons and his grandsons and daughters and granddaughters, everybody will become a great gnani. Na asya abrahmavid kule bhavati. There will be nobody who is born without the Brahmagnana. So that is the second upasana that has been put. That is the Taijasa. Then we have the third. Sushuptasthanaha Prajñaha Makaraha Trutiya-matra Miterapiterva Minoti hava Idam sarvam apitischa Bhavati evam veda sarvamapi tischa bhavati evam vedam. Prajña, the third one. The third quarter is Sushupta, that is deep sleep and all the memory store which are there. All the samadhis that are put forth. As Patanjali says, Nidra Smrutayaha, that is the phase of Avyakta. In the first two things, you have the Vyakta, that is the manifest form. But in the Sushupta Sthana, you have got the potential form. Everything has grossified itself. And that is the state of the Sushupti, deep sleep, and also various levels of Samadhi. That presiding cosmic entity is Prajña. Just like physical world, we have Vaishwanara. For the the dream world, we have the Taijasa. For the Sushupti and beyond, Avyakta, it's called Prajña. Prajña. That means you are the knower of everything. And that is designated by Ma. So that is the third matra, the third letter, third designated letter. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. Akara, Ukara, Makara. These things. So when you do the upasana of the Ukara, how do you do upasana? Japa. All 24 hours, and days together, months together, years together, you go on doing the upasana. And when the upasana becomes complete, you become one with the Makara. What is the result of that? He is telling. So everything will get absorbed. Since it's the process of absorption of the mind, it knows how to measure. The measurement aspect comes here. It's a very special dimension brought forth. Modern science measures everything. So, the stable means we give the plan. What is the length, what is the width, what is the depth, everything. Everything has to be measured. Measurement is the key essence of modern science and technology. And when you say breathing is going on, whether you are in the progressing or not, your breathing rate should be measured. What is your normal breathing rate? How much? 15 to 18 per minute. So as you progress, your breathing rate should come down. 18 to 15 per minute, 12 per minute, 10 per minute. This one. Similarly, when you are relaxing in asana, what should happen? Your metabolic rate should come down. What is our normal reduction in metabolic rate? When deep sleep, it comes down by 9%. And when you have deep things like cyclic meditation, 32% reduction in metabolic rate. So the measurement is the key essence of modern science and technology. Similarly, this aspect of measurement starts coming up at the level of Sushupti, because you get the capacity to measure where you stand. When you are in the level of wakefulness at the Sushupti level, Swapna level, where do you stand? So when you are in different lokas, what is your level and what is the measurement it gives you? Because it's from here the whole creation takes place. Therefore, it has the measurement dimension. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, there is the Ananda Mimamsa, in which it says, first, the human happiness is one unit. And then 100 times that is called Manushya Gandharva Ananda. That's in the Pranamaya Kosha. Then Deva Gandharva Ananda. So like that, one by one, every layer, there is a measurement of Ananda. And there is the measurement of knowledge. What is the knowledge you get? Initially you get extrasensory perception. That is telepathy and several things. Then you go to the higher level, then you get capacity to levitate. Then you go higher, you make your body big, make the body small. Then you make the body very heavy, make the body very light. Like that, the 8 siddhis are all going to come. This all can be measured when you do the upasana of the Makara, Sushupta Sthana. So, apiterva, minoti hava, idam sarvam apitistha bhavati. That means you get the capacity for measuring because you are able to absorb into the whole thing. So how do you measure normally anything? You must have a unit for measurement. Supposing I want to measure what is the length of this thing. I say it is 2.5 feet. Because that, what is this foot? You have to define. Or exactly this is 1 foot. No? But we could have defined that this could be 1 foot. Or this could have been by 1 foot. But we all agreed, yes, this distance is called 1 foot or 1 meter for this thing. So you have to define a unit, and then multiplication of that or division of that. So 1,000 meters, 1 kilometer, like that it goes on and on and on. Similarly, the time can be measured. 1 second, 1 click is 1 second. Then you have 5 seconds. Then 1 minute, then 1 hour, then 1 day, then 1 week, 1 year. All that can be measured. So basis is to define a unit. So Sushupti defines that unit. And having defined that, it says, where do you stand? Where is your progress? Your breathing rate 18, that you are normal. You are bringing it to 16 breaths per minute, then you are improving. I will say you got B grade. You bring it to 15, B plus. I can measure that. That is measurement. Measurement important. So in the examination also, what you have, minimum marks you must get 50% is measurement. How much? So when you do your asanas, how nicely you are doing asanas, our teachers are going to measure and they will give you the marks. Particularly when you have yogasana competitions coming up now, you have to measure and then tell what are the marks. 10 marks for doing this particular asana. How much marks you give? 3 persons. So all 3 persons experts, they tell. One person will say 9, another will say 8, another person will say 9. But somebody will say 2, then he'll be discarded. A two-way, a wrong judgment. So therefore, the thing has been described. Therefore, measurement is the key essence of science, and this has been put forth in the field of this Makara. Makara Upasana gives you that capacity to measure, understand yourself, where you stand in your growth process. And that is the wonderful thing that put forth here. Therefore, the people in that level, they can clearly see where you stand, what is your particular thing. Just to get such great Maharishis, looking at you, they will say, what is your progress, how much of tamas, how much of rajas, how much sattva you have, how much of your knowledge is there, and where do you stand, what is your level, it says. So, depending on the knowledge and perception, they are able to measure where you stand. Depending on where you stand, they were teaching. Our Gurukula system was not just by only year, first year, second year, third year, like this. A person may be 60 years old, but he may be in the class 1. A person may be 8 years old, but he may be already in a PhD. Our ancient masters, you were able to measure because they had that perception, because they had the upasana of these things. Therefore, there was a young student who comes and asks the teacher, Sir, Kutaye Shaprano Jayate Kathamayapyasmin Sharire Atmanam va Pravibhajya Katham Pratisthate Kenotkramute Katham Vahyamabhidhatte Katham Madhyatmamiti. He asks a series of questions to the teacher. Sir, what is it that we call as prana? And from where does the prana come? How does it come and manifest in this world at large, into this body? And what are its manifestations? I want to know. Looking at the question, the teacher gets thrilled. People first do not understand there is something like prana. They think everything is only the body. You have understood there is prana, which is deeper. And you are asking, is prana the ultimate, or is there something beyond prana? Therefore, he appreciates him. He says, Ati prashnan pruchasi, brahmishtosi, tasmat teham brahmimi. You are asking question of questions, the most brilliant question, a PhD question. Therefore, I am going to answer you. So, he's put them already at the PhD level. He's only 8 years old. But another person comes who is already 65 years. He says, Sir, I have learned many vidyas. Shatram Dhanami. 64 types of vidyas. I am not happy. I do not know. Please let me know what is it by knowing which I know everything. Kintam Vignatam, Sarvam Vignatam Bhavati. You know. Then it's already 65 years. He puts it into the primary class. You know, this is our Gurukula system. You know, depending on that. How is possible? Because our ancient masters were able to see. They were able to measure by looking at you, touching at you, and then seeing, asking you type of questions you ask. Then they are going to do this thing. Therefore, this is the level of the upasana, of the makara. So, akara upasana, ukara upasana, makara upasana. Akara upasana, all your desires will be fulfilled in the material world. Ukara upasana, it will make you go higher and higher and higher and higher, get and higher powers, higher and higher bliss, higher and higher knowledge, and go to the higher level. And in your entire family, your sons, daughters, and their grandsons, granddaughters, everybody will become Brahmagnanis. They will become realized souls. That is the one. And when you come to this level, Makara Upasana, you can get the capacity to measure where everybody stands. That is the Guru. They are the Maharshis that they were there. You have a question? Come near and tell.
When we attain the Ukara,
Yeah.
you say we will be able to know the oneness, we will be able to measure ourselves. Is that mean the process of self-actualization? It is attained through Ukara. Is it? Am I right or not?
Say that again. Let them hear everybody.
Guruji said when we practice Ukara, we will be able to know ourselves. The process of introspection will happen. So, is that the process of self-actualization? I'm asking Guruji, am I right or not?
Yeah. When you do the Ukara, on doing it, it will become the whole 24/7 practice. And when you do, you start growing above the desires of the material world. Desire of the material world. I want this money, I want name, I want fame, I want a good house, good food, everything. That desires will all now move to the subtle levels. You are not that much bothered about this thing. What you want is, you want the higher powers, higher bliss. Now I got Ananda only this much. I want 100 times more Ananda, 1,000 times more Ananda. So your desire for higher things start coming up. And this is how Utkarsha starts coming up in the Ukara Upasana. So you start growing higher and higher. Otherwise, you're only involved in this thing, material world. What is all our ambition? I want to become a millionaire. I want to become a billionaire. I want to become a king. I want to become an emperor. This is the maximum desire. I want to become the prime minister. Napoleon wanted this thing, and Alexander wanted to be the emperor of the whole world. Then our Shias went further and said, this is nothing. No? And there are the higher things. How much happiness you will get? Very small. I want 1,000 times more, 10,000 times more bliss. I want Ananda. I want the power to do these things. All that. For example, Vishwamitra was a king. He had all the power. He was one of the most powerful king. And Vasishtha was a great Maharishi. He was at the highest level. He had one cow called Kamadhenu. And Kamadhenu's speciality is it can feed and give you any amount of milk. Even 1,000 people come, it will give. If 100 people come, this thing. If it's only ashram 2-3 persons, it will give milk. That was the thing. Therefore, Vishwamitra thought, see, this cow should be with me because I am the king. I can give it to all the people. Therefore, he went and asked Vasishtha, Vasishtha, please give me this cow because this is more useful to me because every day a lot of people come and I can give this thing. And what you do, only ashram 2-3 people, let it be more useful. Then Vasishtha says, no, Kamadhenu cannot be given to anybody. It has been given to me by the great gods and goddesses and I cannot part with anybody. Then Vishwamitra thought that, no, I am the king. You have to give me. This is my order. You have to give. And everything that is there in this thing is my property as a king. You have to give me. You have no choice. He said, no, please don't do this thing. This will not be good. Then he calls all army people and then go and put it and bring it to the thing. They all start coming. First I sat in silence and he said, Kamadhenu, take care. Kamadhenu started blowing up all the army. All the army people, simply vanished. 1,000 people. They were almost, fled away. Such was the power of Kamadhenu. Then Vishwamitra thought, what all I thought of the physical world is most powerful. I can do anything. But even a cow I cannot bring. What is the use? So how to do that? I want to be more powerful than Vasishtha, than the Kamadhenu. He started doing the Upasana. He started doing the tapas. One by one, he started getting more and more. So this is how the desire at the gross level gets transformed. Once you know that your thing is very small. Until then he thought that he had everything, all the power he had. But once he found that he failed with simple thing to get a cow, then his desire changed. What is that by which this is to be done? The Guru said, yes, you have to do the tapas. He started doing tapas, yagnas and several other things. He started doing like this. So this is the desire that comes. The gross desires will go away. You have the higher desires. That is going up. This is by the Utkarsha. Then higher thing is to measure. You become a Maharshi, great Maharshi. Vasishtha was the Maharshi. He was able to judge everything. Vishwamitra was getting one by one power, And there was one Nahusha, Chakravarti. He said, if you do yagna, you go to the Swarga, you say. But you go to the Swarga or the heaven after dying. Who knows whether the heaven is there or not? So he comes to Vasishtha and says, please allow me to do the yagna and take me to the Swarga in this body itself. I don't want that I should go after death because I don't know what happens to death. Vasishtha says, no, it's not possible. But then he went to Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra, this is what has happened. But then he had a competition. If Vasishtha cannot do that, I can do that. Come on, let's do. New experiment. And he did everything, did the yagna. And Nahusha is transformed into a higher thing. He did the Ukara Upasana and others. And said, okay, go. And he started getting levitation, Sukshma Sharira, and started going up and up towards the heaven. There Indra is the heavenly king. He says that you have got passport, you have no visa. Vishwamitra has given you passport, he has sent you there. But I have not given you visa, you can't enter. Come on, go down. So he is thrown down. Nahusha is crying from there. Oh Vishwamitra, what is happening? What is happening? That I'm there, not here. And he said, don't worry, I will create a new heaven it's better than Indra's heaven. That is, he creates a heaven, they abode there. That was the capacity of Vishwamitra. He had. But when he comes to Vasishtha, he wanted that Vasishtha should recognize him as a great Brahmarshi. But what Vasishtha says, he measures, he has to go beyond. Therefore he says, great Rajarshi, please welcome. Vishwamitra becomes very angry. I have done all these things, still he calls me only Rajarshi. They have not measured me to the Brahmarshi. Very interesting. Then again he does more tapas, purifies himself, greater and greater level. Sushupti, Makhara and everything. He started growing. And finally, he says that why should I have my desire to be called as a Brahmarshi? He overcomes the desire to be called as a Brahmarshi by Vasishtha. Therefore, I don't care whether he calls me as Brahmarshi or not. I am full of Ananda, full of this thing, Turiya-sthiti, he is there. Then when he comes to Vasishtha, please welcome, my dear Brahmarshi, he said. So that is the condition. Therefore, the great Maharshis have the capacity to measure where you stand. Whether you are here, where are you? Just like in the university, which measure what is your examination, what do you think examination fee? This is the dimension that he gets. So this is the prajna. That is the prajna. So Peetis Chabhavati, Kayevam Veda. Very beautiful thing, it gives some message. Then the last one, we are going to take up in the next class. That is which we have to go beyond that things. But we will chant that and leave there. Amatras chaturthaha avyavaharyaha prapanchopashamaha shivaha advaitaha evam onkaraha atmaiva samvishate atmanatmanam ya evam veda. So ultimately, having come to that akara, ukara, makara, that is, you transcended from Annamaya Kosha to Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya Koshas in the Sukha Sharira Taijasa, then Anandamaya Kosha. Then they have to transcend even that. That is pure consciousness. That has no matra. There is no designated letter. And that is the Om. It is not a letter. Akara, Ukara, Makara are the letters. That Om is not a matra. About this, we are going to take up in the next class. So, summarizing today, what we have understood in this thing is that the methodology, see, one is the understanding, one is the hypothesis. Then we have to conduct the experiment to prove it and to reach that. Therefore, in science, we make a hypothesis, design a study, conduct the experiment, and come to the inference, get at the knowledge. Here, you do the same thing, Shravana, then the Manana, in the Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana is called the Sadhana. It's called Prakriyas. They are also called Upasana. There are different ways of doing these things. And when you go on doing it, then you get to the Gnana. And that's not the end. The Gnana has to be stabilized. And you have to go to deeper and deeper levels of Gnana. So in the Upasana, Ukara, you have to go deeper. Therefore, Makara itself would have been enough. Akara itself would have been enough. But you have to go to Ukara, then you have to go to Makara. Then you have to transcend even the Makara. So, in the process, you completely transform yourself from our normal level to become great human being, superhuman beings, divine human beings, and reach that divinity, that perfection itself. That is the huge spectrum that has been brought forth in the Upasana of the Mandukya Upanishad. So with that, we close today's session, and then if you have any questions, please come, and then we'll ask the questions. Thank you all very much, and if you have any questions, please put it in the chat box. Recording Recording is going on. You can take that. Nagaratna. When is self-actualization is the Minoti. Self-actualization is still in the gross material world with the Akara Upasana. In the Akara Upasana, then you have your desire. You want to be self-actualized. You want to change yourself. You want to grow yourself. And you know where you have to go. You have to move from tamas to rajas, rajas to sattva, and even go beyond the sattva, overcoming the conflicts. These are all still in the Akara Upasana itself. Self-actualization that we talk about in psychology is still at that level. But what we are doing here in the next level Utkarshat Ubhayatvat, Utkarshati Havai, it is the next higher level in which you start transforming your physical into this subtle. From the Annamaya Kosha, you have to transform itself into the Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha. The body itself is going to change, is going to expand itself. And you start getting in higher and higher powers, higher and higher bliss, higher and higher knowledge. And all these things again will lure you, will attract you to come down. What is to be done therefore? You have to overcome all these things of the higher level. Vishwamitra, when he started growing, he got lured by the sexual thing and he married Menaka, and got stuck for many, many years, hundreds of years. Then again he realized, what did I do? Then again he started doing the tapas. Again he had to purify. So we all have such great amount of our tamas, rajas, sattva as our samskaras which we have to purify. So actualization is a process by which you start improving the whole process. But Rishi Vishwamitra created Pratisrushti. What kind of rituals and experiments were done to attempt to recreate similar Pratisrushti in today's world? They are using our technology now to create similar thing as the physical world. And we are trying to see how best you can change it and every organ of the body. 5,000 types of surgery. You have heart failure, you put another heart. You have kidney failure, put another kidney. And create all these things are going on. This is the way that we are now trying to do in modern technology. But in earlier times, it was all done through the tapas, by doing the sayama. Sayama is the one that Patanjali talks about in the Vibhuti-pada. And they get the power to do these things. And physical world is fine, and you have to go to the things. And at that time, they also used this Vedic technology, that's the yagnas. Specific yagnas were meant for specific results. You want to go to these heavens, this is the yagna that you have to do. And what Vishwamitra did was, he understood the whole science behind it, and then started using that to convert the physical body into the subtle body. The physical body cannot levitate. The physical body has to be transformed into the subtle form so that the body can levitate upwards. That is what he understood, and that he was able to do that thing. And that's the power that Vishwamitra had the thing. And once the subtle body started levitating, it started going. Then when he was thrown away from Indra, then he has to create a new world altogether. We all have the capacity to create a world of our own. Every day when you go to the dream world, don't we create our own world? It's all created by us. Similarly, Vishwamitra was able to create a world of not his dream world, but create a world, the subtle world, in which he said, okay, Navisha, you get all the enjoyment that you get in a heaven. What Indra's heaven gives you, everything you get that here. So you be there. Lord Chakravarti brought this thing. For that, Vishwamitra had that power to do that. In a sense, we all have that power in a very, very limited way to create our own world. In the world, we enjoy. In the world, we create. In the dream world, we suffer also. Suffering and this are both available in this thing. And Vishwamitra had the power to do that at a higher level. That's all through the different technas and understanding the pranic world. And he had great capacities. He had the power of the Manomaya Kosha level. In the Manomaya Kosha level, when you have the power with the Vijnanamaya Kosha, you get the power to create the things. And that's what he was able to do that. Google Guru defines self-actualization, the realization or fulfillment of one's talents and potentialities, especially considered as a drive of need present to everyone. Yes, it can be done. Self-actualization is to see that you determine, you develop yourself, actualize yourself to achieve what you want to do. Whether what you want to do depends on your samskaras, tamas, rajas, sattva. Whether you have rajas, then you want to have power, you want to have money, you want to have richness, you want these things. If you are sattva, you have a desire, yes, you want to help others, serve others, and then take care of the world and bring peace on earth. You have different desires depending on where you stand. And self-actualization is the one that helps you to move the way that you want to do that. That is what self-actualization is there. That's all in the first level itself, in the akara level. No, but self-actualization that doesn't take you to the next level of the subtle world. Very good questions. Thank you. And any of you have any questions, you can come here and ask. Anybody else have any other questions?
So, ರಾಜಸಿಕ ಅಂದರೆ ರಾಜಸಿಕ ಯೋಗ ಅಂದರೆ ಮನಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಸೊ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಆಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರು ಅವರು ಒಬ್ಬ ಯೋಗಿ ಪುರುಷ ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ, ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಏನೂ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಆದರೆ ಅವರು ರಾಜಸಿಕ ಯೋಗಿ ಅಂತ ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಾಜಸ್ಸಿನ ತೇಜಸ್ಸಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಅದು ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ.
Can you answer? You do not understand this question. Huh?
I don't speak Kannada, but
English you tell. You tell. You put it on. Yeah. That battery. ಹೇಳಿ ಏನು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಅಂತ. ಏನು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ.
ಸರ್, ಅದು ರಾಜಸಿಕ ಯೋಗ ಅಂದರೆ ಹಣ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಸೊ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಸೊ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಕುತೂಹಲ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅದರಿಂದ, ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಥರನೂ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರು ಯೋಗ ಪುರುಷ, ಅವರು ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ ಆಗಿದ್ರು, ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಏನೂ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅಂದರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಂಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮಗೆ ಈ ಥರ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ವಿಷಯ. ಆದರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಏನೂ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ರಾಜಸ್ಸಿನ ರಾಜಯೋಗದ ತೇಜಸ್ ಉಳ್ಳವರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಕಡೆ. ಅದು ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ?
Okay. His question is that referring to Swami Vivekananda, is considered as a Rajasic yogi. So in Rajas, you want more money, more name, more fame, and all these things. And he had no money, but he had to go abroad. Somebody collected money and other things and others. So what is it? Swami Vivekananda was a great seer. He had transcended the dimensions. And it's called as Rajasic Yogi because he wanted to do good for the society. There are two paths in the whole thing. One is the Karma Yoga, another is the Sannyasa Yoga. In Sannyasa Yoga, you leave everything and go to the Himalayas and pursue your thing and go to the higher and higher levels. In the Karma Yoga, you grow and help others, serve others, build the society and see that you work. It's the Karma Yoga. So these are the two paths. So both lead to the same goal ultimately. If they are done, taken. And Swami Vivekananda belongs to the second category. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa gives one example. There were two persons who were going, and there was a huge wall. They wanted to see what is there beyond the wall. And both of them put the ladder and other things and got up. When went to the thing, there they saw a beautiful mango orchard or rice, ripe mangoes, very, very tasty. So one person jumped there to enjoy that thing. And the other person came back and said, come on, come on. There's such wonderful mango orchard. Let's all enjoy. Come on, come here, and go up and then jump. And he went on telling all the people for hundreds and this thing. These are the two paths. This is your freedom. What do you want to do that? Whether you want to jump there and then get out into the whole thing and get to the moksha, or you bring here that message and more people, let them go and then get these fruits of these things. This is called karma yoga. This is called the sannyas yoga. So, Swami Vivekananda belonged to this category of bringing this knowledge base to everybody. But in the process, he was not having the desire that I want to become a millionaire, I want to become a billionaire, I want to become an emperor, I want to become a king, I want to become an emperor. No, he had no desires. His only desire is that we have to bring peace on earth. We want to bring this great wisdom base to people at large. That was his ambition. And therefore, he started continuously working towards it. So he went abroad to bring this message. And he went around the country in the beginning to see whether this knowledge base can be spread. But nobody was caring. Then he understood what has happened to our mentality. Whatever comes from West is the best. Whatever we have is useless and worst. Therefore, he had to bring the knowledge base from the West. So he went to the West and Chicago address, all of you know. And overnight, India raised to great heights. And when he came back, everybody did namaskar to him and wanted to see how best we had to bring this knowledge base. This has happened. So a mentality change was made. Therefore, he had to go abroad and bring this knowledge base. And therefore, he was considered to be a Raja Yogi in that sense, that he wanted to be in the Karma Yoga to help others, serve others in the sattvic dimension and see that it spread. This great knowledge base had to be spread everywhere. And this university also, it meant essentially for that. When we started this university, we could have started a normal university, like bringing BA, BSc, BCom, engineering, information technology, and computers, everything I could have done. But everybody had done. There are 700 universities, they are all doing that. But our Indian base that we have, such wide knowledge base, we had to bring it out. Therefore, it was a challenge. Therefore, we took that. This is what Swami Vivekananda has said. Bring the best of the East with the best of the West. This is what we wanted to translate here. And that's how you had to do. So there are people who want to completely go into the isolation and do this thing. Fine, equally good. Nothing wrong in it. People who go there, cross the wall and then jump and enjoy the mangoes. Fine. But other thing is, bring other people. The choice is yours, whatever you want. And don't think this is better, this is better. Rama asked that question to Vasishtha. Who is better? A person who becomes a great gnani and then he leaves everything, goes into the forest and does tapas and has moksha. Another person comes back here and then work for the nation. Who is better of the two? Very interesting and subtle question. How does Vasishtha answer? Bring that person who is in the isolation, in the forest, and put him as a most responsible king with all the challenges and others here. See what happens to him. Similarly, take this person who is a king, who has all the paraphernalia and everything is a gnani. Make him go into an isolated place, no support whatsoever. See what happens to them. If the person who is there cannot manage all these things here, he is not a gnani. Similarly, this person cannot go and sit in silence absolutely with no support, then he is also not gnani. So it should be equal. Whether here you are here or whether you are in that thing, both should be equal. This is answered by Vasishtha. Therefore, Swami Vivekananda, when he was there in isolation, he was equally fine. When he is in activity, equally fine. So this is the level that comes up at the higher level. So that's the wonderful thing that we have. With that, we'll close today's session. Thank you very much for the nice questions. And if you have other questions also, please write and give it to me. So that in the next class we will take up this thing further. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukha bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you.